10 a.m. bar the studio clock. You're watching Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha TV with me, Tina Jha. Let's start straight away with the headlines this Monday morning. "50 people killed in West mass shooting in the United States after attack on gay nightclub in Orlando. Emergency declared in Florida. President Obama calls attack act of terror and hatred." BJP passes economic resolution at party national executive in Allahabad. Credits Narendra Modi of making India a bright spot despite global slump. Prime Minister to address meet today. Congress to approach Election Commission alleging fraud in Rajya Sabha elections in Haryana. JDS suspends 8 MLAs for defying party will. Controversial Anurag Kashyap film Urta Punjab cleared by the censor board with an A certificate and 13 cuts. And former Nepalese Prime Minister and Maoist leader Baburam Bhattarai launches new party, vows to reform country's political system and maintain harmony with India and China. Well, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will today address the concluding session of the BJP's national executive, which is being held in Allahabad. He will also address a public rally at the parade grounds. On Sunday, party President Amit Shah addressed the inaugural session of the party executive, and the party brought out an economic resolution. The BJP is finalizing its strategy for the upcoming assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh, as well as 4 other states, which are Punjab, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand and Goa.
Looking for a winning formula in the upcoming assembly polls in 5 states, the BJP began its 2-day national executive in Allahabad on Sunday. The meet was inaugurated by the Prime Minister and BJP President Amit Shah. Senior cabinet ministers, chief ministers of BJP-ruled states, party MPs and other senior leaders are also participating in the conclave. On the first day of the meet, the BJP highlighted the achievements of the 2 years of the Modi government, with the Prime Minister adding that the party needed to reinvent itself.
2 years of Narendra Modi government, no corruption government. 10 साल के यूपीए की सरकार में घोटालों की और भ्रष्टाचार की श्रृंखला थी। पूर्व की सरकार में पॉलिसी पैरालिसिस था। हमारी सरकार नो पॉलिसी पैरालिसिस, डिसाइसिव लीडरशिप। नरेंद्र मोदी जी की सरकार ने गांव और शहर के विकास के बीच संतुलन का सेतु स्थापित करने का प्रयास किया है।
While many issues are being discussed at the meet, the main focus is on the high-stakes UP polls due next year. Under Mission 265+, the BJP is aiming to bag the majority seats in the Uttar Pradesh Assembly, which has 403 seats. While there has been much speculation over the party's chief ministerial candidate, the BJP made it clear that the decision will be taken later by the parliamentary board. The party says that it will highlight the corruption in Uttar Pradesh under the ruling Samajwadi Party.
Governance and lack of development in the biggest state of India, that is Uttar Pradesh, is increasingly becoming a matter of serious concern. आप बीजेपी की वर्किंग को बहुत दिन से जानते हैं। राष्ट्रीय कार्यकारिणी में चेहरा नहीं तय होता है। हमारे यहाँ निर्णय की एक प्रक्रिया होती है, वो पार्लियामेंट्री बोर्ड तय करता है।
The BJP passed an economic resolution crediting the Modi government with making India a bright spot despite the global economic slowdown. The resolution also said there will be transformation in the lives of the poor due to the various schemes initiated by the central government.
The national executive of the BJP began with the party patting its back on completion of 2 years in power at centre and also training its guns on the opposition. However, contrary to the speculation, the suspense continues over who will be the party's face in the forthcoming assembly elections in the politically crucial state of Uttar Pradesh. With camera person Manoj Kumar, Vishal Daya, Rajya Sabha TV, Allahabad.
In fact, Vishal Daya is joining us live from Allahabad at the moment. Vishal, a very good morning. We know that the focus of the national executive is, of course, the UP elections this time. The party has not been clear on who could be named the CM candidate, but any murmurs doing the rounds on who could be the probable candidate, who could be entrusted with the responsibility of winning the state?
Well, even before the national executive began, Tina, it was all about the strategy for the Uttar Pradesh Assembly elections as
That's
to
right.
what will the party, what will be the line the party will take, what will be the organizational changes the party will have, and who will be the party's face. But contrary to speculations and in line with the convention of the BJP and how the national executive is held, it is quite clear out here that no finalization of who will be leading the party in the Uttar Pradesh elections will be made out here in Allahabad. Although there have been a lot of discussion around the party's strategy, about the issues on which the party has to take on the Congress, Samajwadi Party and the BSP in the state of Uttar Pradesh. And it was clearly evident from the party president Amit Shah's speech yesterday, the inaugural address which he made in the national executive on day one, that the party is not going to mince any words when it comes to taking on the Congress, the SP and the BSP. There was a clear attack on all these parties, specifically the ruling party in Uttar Pradesh, Samajwadi Party, and BJP will try and corner the Samajwadi Party on the issue of law and order, and the BSP on the issue of corruption. But then once again we will have to wait for quite some time before we find out as to who will head the party, or rather who will be the face of the party in the forthcoming assembly elections. Apart from that, there was a lot of praise which was heaped upon the 2 years of completion of 2 years of Narendra Modi government, and all workers and leaders were instructed by the party's top leadership to go to the people, convey to them what has been accomplished in these 2 years and what is the agenda of the NDA government, policies of the NDA government, strategy of the party as per its documents, as per the policy decisions, and pass it on to the people. Now, on the second and the last day, what we are hoping is that a political resolution is also to be passed by the BJP's national executive. In the economic resolution yesterday, we saw the party talking about the growing GDP numbers, the growth in the economy, all the reform measures which have been taken by the NDA government and which it plans to take in the next 3 years. But in the political resolution today, what we might get a picture of exactly the BJP strategy, not only in Uttar Pradesh, but also in other 4 states, out of which 3 are in North India. Punjab, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand will be going to polls in the next few months. So clearly that will be the line taken by the party as per the political resolution, and all fine-tuning will be done later on. Also, in the end, in the evening, there will be a public rally, a huge public gathering planned on the banks of the Sangam out here, which will be addressed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And from there onwards, we might have some more hint as to which way the party will go, what is going to be the party's specific line. But as far as names are concerned, as far as giving preferences to leaders are concerned, there are a number of contenders for that coveted post of chief ministerial candidate from BJP in Uttar Pradesh, but no decision has yet been taken, and it's unlikely to be taken today as well.
All right, Vishal, many thanks for joining us and giving us those details. So after that economic resolution yesterday, a political resolution expected at the National Executive today, and also an address by the Prime Minister himself. Shifting focus to the big international story today. In what could be the worst mass shooting in the history of the United States, 50 people died and another 53 were injured when a lone gunman opened fire and seized hostages at a gay nightclub in Florida on Saturday night. Now, the US-born man pledged allegiance to terrorist outfit Islamic State before being shot dead by the police. Later on Sunday, the governor of Florida declared a state of emergency in the state. More in this report.
It was meant to be just another Saturday night, but it ended in horror for people at a popular gay club in Orlando. An attack on the venue that descended into the deadliest mass shooting in US history. Police say it all began at the club entrance around 2 a.m. The gunman exchanged fire there with a police officer, then went inside on a shooting spree and then took hostages at 5 a.m.
Approximately 02:02 hours this morning, we had an officer working at Pulse nightclub who responded to shots fired. Our officer engaged in a gun battle with that suspect. The suspect at some point went back inside the club where more shots were fired. This did turn into a hostage situation.
The gunman was named Omar Mateen, a 29-year-old Muslim American of Afghan descent. Police said that Mateen was armed with an assault rifle and a handgun. He was found dead inside.
Our SWAT officers exchanged gunfire with the suspect. The suspect is dead. He appeared to be carrying a rifle, an assault type rifle, and a handgun, and had some type of device on him. That's what we're doing right now, checking the area for devices. There are multiple people that are dead inside. I don't want to give anyone a number right now, but multiple people are dead inside.
On Sunday, the entire nation, including the city of Orlando, was in mourning.
Today, as Americans, we grieve the brutal murder, a horrific massacre of dozens of innocent people. We pray for their families who are grasping for answers with broken hearts. We stand with the people of Orlando who have endured a terrible attack on their city.
President Obama described the shooting as an act of terror and an act of hate.
Still early in the investigation, we know enough to say that this was an act of terror and an act of hate. And as Americans, we are united in grief, in outrage, and in resolve to defend our people.
This is clearly an act of terrorism. It's sickening. It should make every American angry. This would ever happen anywhere in our country. The first thing you think about is you just can't imagine what these families are going through. The families are still waiting to find out what happened to their loved ones.
Mateen, a U.S. citizen of Afghan descent who was born in New York and lived in Florida, was not on a terrorism watch list. However, officials revealed that the FBI had twice interviewed him in 2013-14 after he made inflammatory remarks to a colleague before closing their investigation.
The FBI first became aware of Mateen in 2013 when he made inflammatory comments to co-workers alleging possible terrorist ties. The FBI thoroughly investigated the matter, including interviews of witnesses, physical surveillance, and records checks. In the course of the investigation, Mateen was interviewed twice. Ultimately, we were unable to verify the substance of his comments, and the investigation was closed.
Democratic Party's presumptive nominee for President Hillary Clinton posted brief messages of sympathy on Twitter saying she was an ally of the gay community and used a statement to push for tighter gun controls. Meanwhile, her Republican rival Donald Trump said Obama should step down for refusing to use the words radical Islam while condemning the attack. Investigators have also been checking for explosive devices, and they say they are investigating the suspects linked to organized terror groups. The nightclub Pulse was crowded for a Latin music night, but a fun-filled Saturday night plunged into violence. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, President Pranab Mukherjee on Sunday arrived in Accra in the first leg of a 6-day visit to 3 African countries, that's Ghana, Ivory Coast and Namibia, as part of outreach to Africa, focusing on trade, education and boosting relations with these countries. Addressing the banquet hosted by Ghana President John Dramani Mahama on Sunday, President Mukherjee said that terrorism is a scourge which knows no borders and must be eradicated through the collective efforts of the civilized world. He also said that India has been a victim of terrorism for 3 decades and shares Ghana's concern that it has become a global menace. On increasing investments by Indian companies in Ghana, the President said Indian business groups understand the potential and would be happy to invest if the right opportunities are provided to them. This is the maiden visit of any Indian president to Ghana and Ivory Coast. The visit to Namibia also comes after 2 decades.
India is a victim of terrorism for over 3 decades. Shares your concern that this has become a global menace. It must be eradicated through the collective efforts of the civilized world. India stands in solidarity with you as you confront this challenge.
India moves ahead as a leader in the world community. It also becomes expected that all these countries which were relatively left out in the past have to be carried on board. And this has to be an all-inclusive approach, which I think is a great contribution going to be made by India under the leadership of Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. And therefore, the visit of President Pranab Mukherjee assumes a special significance, rather I would say a historic significance.
And back home, the Congress party will be approaching the Election Commission today over the recently held Rajya Sabha biennial elections. It is alleging fraud by the BJP-led state government after R.K. Anand, the independent candidate which the Congress party had backed for the polls, lost the contest.
The Congress will approach the Election Commission today to protest against what it calls as the misuse of government machinery by the Haryana government in the Rajya Sabha elections for 2 seats in the state in which the BJP won.
पेन और पेपर का बहाना बना के हमारा 13 लोगों को ये लोग अपना वोट डिस्क्वालीफाई करके भारतीय जनता पार्टी और खासतौर और आरएसएस का कैंडिडेट को जिताया है। आगे लड़ाई लड़ेंगे, राजनीतिक लड़ाई भी है और इलेक्शन कमीशन में भी जाके हम लोग कंप्लेंट दर्ज करेंगे।
The results of the Rajya Sabha elections in the state came as a bolt from the blue for the Congress as the party-backed independent candidate R.K. Anand was expected to win. But 14 votes of Congress MLAs were declared invalid, leading to his defeat. Former Chief Minister of the state B.S. Huda alleged there was deliberate fraud in the elections and that it was a conspiracy by the BJP. He sought a forensic investigation into the voting.
Forensic science से पता लग जाएगा कि वो पेन वही है या बदले गए हैं। अगर एक ही पेन से 12 वोट डली हैं तो इसका मतलब षड्यंत्र है भाजपा और इलेक्शन मशीनरी में।
Voting for 27 seats in 7 states for the upper house were held on Saturday. The BJP won 12 seats. For the first time, the party has crossed the 50-figure mark in the upper house. The Congress has, on the other hand, for the first time been reduced to under 60 seats. It now has 59 members. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Meanwhile, the JDS has suspended its 8 rebel MLAs who voted against its official candidate and supported the Congress party in the biennial elections to fill 4 Rajya Sabha seats from Karnataka. Following the open defiance, the party leadership also issued a notice asking them why they should not be expelled from the party for defying the party whip. Businessman B.M. Farooq secured 33 votes against the party's strength of 40. A 3-member inquiry committee will also be set up, which, after going through the MLA's replies to the notice, will decide on their expulsion. Meanwhile, the BJP also suspended its MLA from Gorakhpur Rural, Vijay Bahadur Yadav, for cross-voting during the Rajya Sabha biennial polls. The MLA had cross-voted in favour of a Samajwadi Party candidate on Saturday. With that, time for a short break. Lots more coming up on the other side.
This week we are in the land of Lord Krishna. Let's meet Lok Sabha MP of Mathura and dream girl Hema Malini. How you met Dharmenji, in your life?
His attitude, his behavior was definitely much different than others. Very sober, very soft, very handsome. All the most handsome, wonderful looking men, with all of them I have worked. Chal Dhanno, aaj teri izzat ka sawal. Including my campaign when I go, I have to say this. Chal Dhanno, aaj teri pasandi ki izzat ka sawal hai. Watch me on It's My Life, only on Rajya Sabha TV.
Thanks for staying with us on Breakfast News. Well, after much controversy, the Central Board of Film Certification on Sunday gave the nod to Bollywood film Urta Punjab with an A certificate. The film highlights the rampant drug menace and its impact on the youth in Punjab. The movie created a major controversy after it ran into trouble with the CBFC, with officials reportedly demanding as many as 89 cuts in it and the removal also of the word Punjab from the title. CBFC chief Pehlaj Nihalini, however, said the Film Certification Board never asked for removal of the word Punjab from the film's title. He also said that the final movie was being released with only 13 cuts on the 17th of June.
जो हमने फिल्म को पास किया गया है ए सर्टिफिकेट में पास है। उड़ता पंजाब टाइटल जो है, जो प्रोड्यूसर क्लेम कर रहा था कि मेरा ये टाइटल गया, हमने टाइटल कभी काटा ही नहीं था। जो शब्दों का मतलब सब्जेक्ट टू जो हमने कट्स दिए हैं, उनको 13 कट्स दिए हैं और 13 कट्स के साथ जो जो उसमें शब्द आए हैं उसके अंदर वो पास हुई है।
And on to neighbouring Nepal now, where former Prime Minister and Maoist leader Baburam Bhattarai has launched a new party. Bhattarai has vowed to reform the country's political system and also bring stability by maintaining harmonious relationship both with India and China. The name of his new party is Naya Shakti Nepal. The announcement was made at a ceremony attended by Nepalese Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli. Bhattarai said the new party is bringing the draft that would see Nepal as the world's richest country in just 25 years. Bhattarai's move to form a new party is set to give a big blow to CPN Maoist Centre led by Prachanda. Prachanda had recently joined hands with some splinter Maoist groups to bolster their strength. Now, Prachanda's party, CPN Maoist Centre, is the main coalition partner of the incumbent government led by KP Sharma Oli. The new party is in favour of directly elected president and seeks to bring huge reforms in the governance system of Nepal. According to Bhattarai, his party seeks for directly elected executive body and fully inclusive legislation. He also focused on youth participation in the leadership. A look now at some more international updates in World Wrap. A blast at the Shanghai Pudong International Airport on Sunday left 5 people injured, including a woman and a Filipino man. According to reports, the blast happened when a man threw an explosive wine bottle before hurting himself. Initial investigation has found evidence suggesting that the man's injury could have been self-induced, hinting that he might have set off the blast. An investigation into the blast has been started. More than 5,000 suspected criminals, including 85 militants, have been arrested in Bangladesh as part of an intensified crackdown on Islamist group. At least 18 people, including bloggers, foreign aid workers and religious minorities, have been killed in attacks over the last 2 years. The crackdown aims to reduce such acts after international communities began questioning Bangladesh's secular governance. After a series of kidnappings and murders on Afghanistan highways, officials and travellers have now begun questioning the NATO-backed strategy that reduced security checkposts protecting roads in order to free up police and soldiers to go after the Taliban. Roads have long been dangerous in the country as the Taliban insurgency and other Islamist militant groups expand their reach. Fresh airstrikes have killed more than 20 people in the northwestern city of Idlib in Syria, according to the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights. Areas hit included a market and at least 5 children were among those killed. The death toll is expected to rise because of the number of people seriously injured. However, it's not clear yet whether the warplanes which in fact carried out the strikes belong to Syria or Russia, as both nations are operating in that area. And on to some sports news. European soccer's governing body, the UEFA, has said it has opened disciplinary proceedings against the Russian Football Union following crowd disturbances at the end of the Russia-England Euro 2016 match in Marseille. England fans were involved in fights with Russian supporters in the city before the Group B match, while after the game, Russian fans attacked the English in the ground, punching and kicking retreating England supporters, some of whom were forced to scale barriers to escape. There was also violence reported between the rival fans in Marseille streets, with the riot police using tear gas and water cannons. 6 British nationals remained in hospital following the violence. The UEFA said a decision on sanctions would be made within the next few days once Russia had been able to submit written statements. France's Interior Ministry also backed UEFA's threat to sanction England and Russia if their fans repeated the violence.
La Fédération nationale des pays dont les supporters créent des incidents de cette nature soient pénalisés à la hauteur des troubles qu'ils engendrent, dans les stades certes, c'est bien le moins, mais aussi à l'extérieur des stades.
And Indian ace Saina Nehwal received a huge boost ahead of the Rio Olympics as she clinched her second Australian Open title after defeating China's Sun Yu in a thrilling 3-game final of the Super Series badminton tournament on Sunday. The 26-year-old from Hyderabad egged out 11-21, 21-14, 21-19 win over the world number 12 Sun in a fighting summit clash that lasted for about an hour and 11 minutes. London Olympics bronze medalist Saina, who had beaten 2 world champions, Thailand's Ratchanok Intanon and China's Yihan Wang in the quarterfinals and semi-finals, thus clinched her maiden title of the season. It is Saina's second Australian Open victory, having clinched the title in 2014 as well. It ended a rather long title drought for the celebrated Indian, whose previous title before today was at the India Super Series in New Delhi last year. And India's defence held its ground against desperate Great Britain as they clinched a 2-1 victory in the 36th Champions Trophy on Saturday, putting them at the top of the league standings with 4 points. Goalkeeper PR Sujesh stood his ground against a number of shots at the goal, 4 of them on penalty corners, as India made use of a breakaway opportunity created by right winger SV Sunil, and then their defenders covered the angles well to emerge victorious. Playing deep inside their own territory in the first quarter against early British raids, India scored through Mandeep Singh on their first raid by Sunil in the 17th minute. Harmanpreet Singh then converted a penalty stroke in the 33rd minute, while Britain pulled one back through a penalty corner conversion by Ashley Jackson in the 35th minute. India now have 4 points from 2 matches and will play Belgium today.
Inject for India. Goes to Harmanpreet this time. He sweeps. It's a goal. Harmanpreet, the man with ice.
And finally, on to cricket now. A resounding opening win setting the tone perfectly for them. The new-look Indian cricket team will look to continue in the same vein and take another step towards a potential whitewash of Zimbabwe when the two sides clash in the second cricket ODI in Harare today. It was a clinical display by India as they outclassed Zimbabwe in all departments in a lopsided opener of the 3 ODI series, and Mahendra Singh Dhoni's men will eye another fine outing today. If it was young seamer Jasprit Bumrah who shone with the ball with a 4-wicket haul to shoot out the host for a modest 168, opener L. Rahul helped the team chase down the target with an unbeaten century on his debut ODI. Ambati Rayudu too did his job perfectly, playing second fiddle to Rahul with an unbeaten 120-ball 62, which was studded with 5 boundaries. In the past, India have registered back-to-back whitewashes against Zimbabwe, both in 2013 and 2015. And that's it from us in this bulletin. Thanks for your time.